That's your wife and my kid.
That one is drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. His first Yankee Stadium home run.
El Marciano. He's my favorite Martian.
Today is Wednesday, September 6th, and the Yankees were trying to make it 5 straight wins as they took on the Tigers in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Clark Schmidt was on the mound looking for win number 9 on the season. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out.
Hey, pull me back, kid.
Wow. How's it going, everybody? Yankees win again, and they are 5-0 in the Baby Bomber 2.0 era. Let's hear it for the Yankees. Future is bright. You know, it's funny. When the Yankees signed Jason Dominguez, the first comparisons that we heard were to Mickey Mantle. Switch-hitting center fielder signed as a teenager by the Yankees. And as of tonight, there is now a list of players at the age of 20 who have hit 3 home runs in a 5-game stretch. Any 5-game stretch with the Yankees. But there is now officially a list. There used to only be one. And the 2 names on that list are Mickey Mantle and Jason Dominguez. Unreal. Austin Wells and Everson Pereira are watching this guy take over New York, and they're like, we haven't even gotten our salads over here. Come on. We got the home run call from Sterling tonight, too. I posted it on my Twitter X account, but we'll play it in just a minute when we get to that portion of the recap. And I want to thank John Sterling for not giving us something stupid like he did with Anthony Volpe. Nice and simple. I can put it on a t-shirt, which is exactly what I'm going to do as soon as this podcast is finished. Yankees got a run off of Tigers got a run off of Clark Schmidt in the first inning. And there were months at a time this season where I felt like if the Yankees were down 1-0 in the first, you had to legitimately ask yourself if they were capable of coming back. Are we going to score? Is this game already over? But not anymore. I don't get that feeling anymore. This team has some dog in them with the infusion of these kids. And with Aaron Judge being back, honestly, too. And Stanton starting to hit. But the kids have just made this way more exciting. They've got some dog in them. Yanks put 2 men in scoring position in the top of the first inning, but could not push a run across. Giancarlo Stanton smoked one, 119.5 miles per hour, right back at the pitcher. It hit him in the foot. It bounced up. He made the play, threw out Giancarlo, but you could see that he was dejected right away. He was, it wasn't like a lot of pain. It was like he heard his bones crunch, or he heard something break. Ended up knocking him out of the game. On the broadcast, they just said foot injury. So I'm assuming either he lost the foot completely or the doctor who made that astute evaluation was one of the Yankees doctors. Scary what Giancarlo Stanton can do. I still have no idea how Masahiro Tanaka survived that line drive back in 2020 when Stanton smoked one off of his head during the intra-squad game at Yankee Stadium. A very nice play by Oswald Peraza on a slow chopper in the second, showed off the cannon that he has for an arm. And then he followed up with a base hit in the bottom half and then scored on the second hit of the game from DJ LeMahieu. That tied it at 1. Bottom 3. Leadoff hitter was the Martian.
It is high. It is far. It is gone. El Marciano. He's my favorite Martian.
Welcome to Earth.
John Sterling on the home run call. I personally call it a close encounter of the fourth kind. Solo shot, 383 feet. Left-handed swing is, as Susan Waldman put it, perfection for this ballpark because he's going to hit those hard line drives. He makes hard contact, and if you gap one up with the kind of hard contact he makes, it's going to go in the first or second row. Exactly what happened tonight. As he gets stronger, and look, he might not be capable of getting much stronger. I mean, he's already man-sized, but he's going to do a lot of damage for a long time. Just stay healthy, buddy, and keep your head on straight. Third home run of the year for Dominguez. He is the only Yankee other than Shelley Duncan to hit 3 home runs in his first 5 games. Ian, 216, says, big congrats to Jason on his first Yankee Stadium home run. Mars attack style. Ack, 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 ack. Do not run. We are your friends. Later in the inning, Oswald Peraza picked up his second hit of the game, double to right field, which drove in another run. Bottom 4. Aaron Judge led off the inning with a booming opposite field double, and then Dominguez followed up with his second hit of the game, opposite field single, and then Torres singled up the middle to make it 4-1 Yanks. 3 very good pieces of hitting in that inning. Bottom 6, Judge picked up another hit, and then Jason Dominguez picked up his first career hit from the right side of the plate, a line drive single up the middle, third hit of the game. And after those hits, Jason's OPS was higher than Aaron Judge's, 1.143 to 1.022. Obviously, much smaller sample size. That's just more for humor than anything, but it's still a fun stat, and it shows you how good this kid has been so far. Clark Schmidt, I thought, threw the ball okay tonight. Not great. Got knocked out in the 7th inning. Final line, 6 in the 3rd innings. 5 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. He had a long stretch where he retired a bunch of guys in a row. But again, runs out of gas, around the 6th or 7th. And tonight he went a little deeper than usual because he was more efficient earlier in the game. Ran into some trouble early. I thought his stuff was okay. It's not as good as we've seen it. If he had his good stuff tonight, he might have struck out 10 or 12 guys because it's not a great hitting Tigers team. Wandy Peralta started strong out of the pen, but he also ran out of gas. He loaded the bases with 2 outs. And then Boone went to Greg Weissert, who spends more time in Scranton than Dunder Mifflin. But he came up big in a big spot, got a big strikeout. Louis says, looks like your boy Dominguez is the real deal. Go Yankees. Hey, I tell you guys all the time, I'm not going to BS you guys. If I believe in somebody, I'll tell you. If I don't believe in somebody, I'll tell you. All I can tell you is that, I've been watching the Yankees since 1987. There was a stretch there of about 12 years where I didn't miss a single game. I maybe miss 1 game a year now. I haven't missed one in the last couple of years. Even the ones that, I didn't do a podcast for, I usually watch them on my phone or listen to them on my phone. And so you learn to recognize, who's comfortable and who's not. Who's a guy who is a big rated prospect but doesn't hit the ball hard or looks like he's overmatched. And Dominguez has just looked comfortable every time I've seen him. That includes the futures game, the spring training games. I mean, he's going to be for real. He is for real. Bottom 8, Oswald Peraza picked up his 3rd hit of the game on an infield single, but got thrown out stealing. Took a great throw to get him. Clay Holmes had the sinker working tonight and made easy work of the Tigers in the 9th. And the Yankees have won 5 straight games. The Baby Bombers 2.0 may never lose.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win. You're a winner.
Lori C. counting down the elimination number each night. It is down to 17, but we're going to ride it out, baby. If we don't lose and we keep winning, the Rockies went 21-1 one year. So, I guess stranger things have happened. And the energy that this team has, they may never lose again. Because as the Martian gets more comfortable and Judge continues to hit, other guys are going to start to get more comfortable too. We're seeing it now from Peraza. Second 3-hit game this week. Volpe's in a little bit of rut. right now, a little bit of a rut right now, but he's going to turn it around. It won't be long. All right, guys, we got the belt winner tonight. A lot of candidates. Oswald Peraza got serious consideration. 3 hits and great on both sides of the ball. But what can I say? Jason hits space lasers. 5 straight wins. It's Toxic Jelly says the Yankees should call up Florial and Sweeney. Also, what is Marinaccio? Why is he still down? So Marinaccio has had some issues with his fastball. He lost a little bit of zip on his fastball this year. He was sent down the day that Domingo Germán threw his belligerent fit in the clubhouse. So I wonder, there was some reports that he was all over Marinaccio and making fun of him as he was packing for AAA. So maybe he shattered the kid's confidence. Who knows? Wayne J says, we are looking real good. We are looking really good. The better these kids play, the less you got to do in the offseason. I think the Yankees have solved the center field problem internally. Now the question remains, do you want to sign Bellinger? I've seen a lot of people say yes. I've seen a lot of people say no. A lot of people want to wait the year and sign Soto. There's no guarantee you can get Soto. No guarantee you can get Bellinger. I mentioned this last night, but I'm kind of on the Bellinger train for 2 reasons. One, he's going to be cheaper. And he's not as young as Soto, but he's 28. He's still young. 28's still a good age to sign a contract. You could probably get him for 7 or 8 years. He'll be done by his time he's 35. You don't have to pay for the end of his 30s. And he can switch to first base after a season or two whenever Rizzo's gone. And that allows Spencer Jones to slide right into the outfield. Then you've got an Aaron Judge on both corners, a righty and a lefty. And I will absolutely take it.
Absolutely, hey.
Luis says Dominguez is making this game fun again. Absolutely. He's been crushing it. NYY Recaps is sponsored by Game Time, the fastest growing ticket app in the world. Download the Game Time app to your phone or other smart device, or visit gametime.co on a computer and get your last-minute tickets to all your favorite types of events, baseball, other sports, concert, theater, comedy, you name it. You can find it on Game Time. Use the code NYY Recaps for $20 off your purchase. Game Time, lowest price on last-minute tickets, guaranteed. Take a look at the box score for tonight's game. All right, so the Yankees did get 11 hits tonight. 2 hits from LeMahieu, 2 from Judge, 3 from Dominguez, 1 from Torres. Stanton 0 for 3 took the collar. Wells 0 for 4 hitting 143, but I'm going to cut Wells some slack because 2 things. 1, I like his swing. He hasn't looked overmatched. He just has not been hitting the ball very hard. He looks to me like he's getting jammed a little bit. Maybe back off the plate a little bit, look for that ball in the inner half. And then Volpe 0 for 4, tough night. Peraza 3 for 4, and Cabrera 0 for 3 tonight. Schmidt 6 1/3, 3 runs. Peralta, Weissert, and Holmes all put up goose eggs. And the Yankees win their 5th in a row. Let's take some comments here. THG, longtime mod, says Bellinger's going to get 8 years from someone. I'd rather pay 13 years for Soto, get much more of his prime as compared to Soto. I think he means as compared to Bellinger. That's an argument. And I can't argue with people who think that, but here's my issue. If you skip out on getting that big left-handed bat this winter, 1, there's no guarantee that Soto's going to be available or that he's going to have a great season. What if Soto gets hurt? What if he signs an extension with the Padres? What if he signs with the Mets? He said how much he loves hitting at Citi Field, and we know that Steve Cohen will absolutely back up the Brinks truck for him. So, there's no guarantee. And if you don't sign a bat this winter, you're a lefty bat, you're essentially going into next year and gambling a lot on Dominguez and Wells and on Rizzo bouncing back. I think you need 1 good, solid lefty bat other than those guys that you can count on. And that's why I'm kind of on the Bellinger train. And he won't be as expensive. You don't have to give him $500 million. Also, he's a good defender. He's an athlete. Look at his body. I would much rather pay for Bellinger's body type than for Soto's body type. Soto has already gotten slow. In fact, we should take a look at some of the StatCast metrics for both of these guys. Why don't we do that tonight? Give me a moment while I look it up. Baseball savant. All right, so bear with me. So first we're going to look up Cody Bellinger. I probably said Clay Bellinger a bunch of times and didn't even realize it. Also, they've changed the way that the statistics or the metrics look on Baseball Savant. So be prepared for that. I haven't really done a dive into them yet. It's just a little different look at the graphic. Okay, so first we're going to look at Juan Soto. And you can see batting run value is in the 96th percentile. So they have basically their value now at the top, which is how a player ranks as compared to their colleagues, I guess, their peers, in three basic areas: batting, base running, and fielding. His batting run value is in the 96th percentile. Obviously great. Base running, he's slightly above average. Fielding, well below average, 15th percentile. And if you look at his sprint speed, it's in the 39th percentile, so he is not fast. Let's take a look at Cody Bellinger. You can see that he's higher in all three areas. 94th percentile, so you're down just 2 ticks from Soto in offensive value. And then base running, he's much better, 20% better. And fielding, he's like 70% better. So he's just a better all-around baseball player. Yes, he's a little bit older. He's hitting .321 with 24 home runs, 19 stolen bases. Soto hitting .258, 28 home runs. So more power, less steals, better on-base percentage. But again, it's dropped 3 years in a row. 21, it was .465. Last year, .401. This year, .398. I don't like the direction. I like to follow the way guys are going. Look at Bellinger, slugging 2 years ago, .302. Last year, .389. This year, .555. On base, .240, .265, .365. Everything's going in the opposite direction. .165, .210, .321. He's working to get better. He's not resting on his laurels. And he's got a 6'4", 203-pound launch machine of a body that is built for Yankee Stadium. Ronnie says, $1.99, sign both Soto and Bellinger. Oh, and sign both Soto and Belly to first base in 25. So the one way I can see them getting Juan Soto, the only way that I can see them doing it, is if they trade Spencer Jones as like the headliner of a package, number one prospect, and I'd be fine with that. But you'd have to also give up a lot of people. I'm not trading the Martian under any circumstances. And Volpe, to me, is no longer a prospect. He's your starting shortstop, so he's off the table. But any other prospects that you want have to be considered on the table. However, I don't think that the Padres want to do it. They lost a lot of revenue from their TV deal, so that's one thing that could be a factor. If they decide that they can't pay him, that they're not going to win next year, then they might move him. But again, this is a team that's built to win. They just never got hot this year. I think Tatis is probably a clubhouse cancer from everything that we've heard. Really bad clubhouse chemistry there. And, he and Machado hate each other. Hey, it might be worth seeing if they want to take, hey, look, we'll take Machado's contract off of you if you give us Soto. That might be a creative way to do it. If they decide, hey, we want to reset. We want to get out of $100 million of, so you're going to be paying for the worst years of Machado. But, again, I don't think that'll happen, but that's just one of those creative things that GMs could try.
Game over, man. Game over. I gotta get out of here.
Wayne says Chicago isn't New York, but it's a good-sized city. I think Bellinger would be fine here. I also think he would be fine. His dad played here. You have to imagine he was here at the time his dad was here.
Most impressive.
And Dr. Hitskin says, we're starting to see back injuries and tightness via Soto. Yeah, I always start to worry about back injuries too. Look, I told you, my guy is Cody Bellinger. I think he's cheaper. I think he's an excellent asset that can help you win next year. And, you know, if you put him in the lineup, and I'm just going to go through and read a lineup that I've been working on for next season. So hang on just a second, and I'll kind of walk you guys through what I'm thinking for the lineup. Now, we'll get more into this when we do the postmortem, which will be, you know, hopefully it doesn't happen, but over the next, you know, couple of weeks, it's likely to happen. So I got Volpe leading off next year. So over the last 30 games or so, he's got that on-base percentage up around 320, 330. It's been lower the last few games because he's been in a slump. But next year, I think maybe you hit him lead off. Dominguez second. Judge third. Bellinger fourth. Torres fifth at second. Rizzo sixth at first base. Stanton seventh at DH. Wells eighth and Peraza ninth. Now, Stanton, I don't think you can count on him to be your cleanup guy next year. I shift him to the bottom of the order. I shift some of the younger guys up, and that allows you to go righty, switch, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty. I mean, and you can tinker with that a little bit. I like Judge in the 3-hole in this situation, but the Yankees probably going to hit him second, as they always do. So, I don't know. It's we'll see. We'll see. Not So Family Fun Vision says, Derek Bellinger would be a terrible signing. It sounds like Cashman.
A what?
Wrong.
All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Great game for the Martian. Let's listen to his John Sterling call one more time.
It is high. It is far. It is gone. El Marciano. He's my favorite Martian.
Mine too.
Welcome to Earth.
I'll see you next time.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.